So this is a new concept, a way of thinking that will allow you to start developing a place to where you can be proactive, not reactive in the decision making that you're doing. It's so much better when you're proactive. Proactive people move from a space of gratitude. Reactive people move from a space of fear. Okay, so proactive people move from a space of gratitude. I get a phone call from somebody that says, Mr. Brower, I represent the firemen of this state, and we're having a circus coming to town. Now, by the way, I can hear about a zillion people talking in the background, right? And we want to make sure that, you know, you're able to support these homeless kids so they can go to the circus. And we noticed that last year you gave us $25. Would you be willing to make that $50 this year so you could help 10 kids go to the circus? And we know that you really care about kids, don't you, Mr. Brower? And we know that you would never turn down a kid if he came to your door and asked you if you'd help him go to the circus, right, Mr. Brower? So would you be willing to put $50 towards helping these kids go to the circus? Now, what's going through your emotions in that moment? I have no place to put that. I have no place to put that. So what am I left with? I am left with me, my fear. Now they're playing to my heart, my conscience, and everything else. What am I going to do? I'm either going to have to move into the space of complete ingratitude and tell them, no. You know what? I'm tired of you guys calling me. I can hear everybody talking in the background. I don't know who you are. Call somebody else. Take my number off your list. See you later. Bang. How does that feel? Now you got to go back and sit down and eat dinner with your kids. Or you're over here and you say, what if I gave 25? Well, Mr. Brower, you know, that's still 5 kids that wouldn't be getting to go to the circus, but if you're okay with that.
10.
You know? So now I go, well, okay, do you take credit cards? Yes, Mr. Brower, we'll take a credit card, sure, you know. So all of a sudden now I'm giving reluctantly, and I've got an obligation without a commitment. All right, I am now moved into my ingratitude. This is a grateful thing, wonderful thing to do. Am I into gratitude? No, I'm not in gratitude.
You're in a mess.
I'm in a mess. I am in a mess. Well, is that where I want to live? No. Now, before the shift, that's where I would have been. After the shift now, I pick up the phone. Mr. Brower, this is the Fireman's Fund. Thank you so much for calling. I really appreciate the work that you're doing, and obviously to take time out of your schedule to be able to call me is something that takes some great effort. I really appreciate that. I want to thank you. However, please understand that our family, we get together once a year and we review all the causes that we get involved with. We make that decision at the beginning of the year. But it certainly sounds like you've got a very valuable opportunity for us to invest in. Would you say that your investment is something that's worthwhile investing in? Yes. Well, then would you be willing to send me a copy of your annual report and exactly how much money of our money that we send in actually ends up going to buy the tickets for the children? And if you'll do that, we will consider that as a major contribution for us, for you, for next year. Is that a fair deal? Okay. Or would you give $10? Or, you know, we can't send that out? Or, yes, we would. We'd be happy to. Let me get your name and email address. I'll be glad to send it to you. Now, who's in control in that conversation?
You are.
See, so now you've moved into the space of appreciative gratitude. You're not in the ultimate stage, but you're appreciative gratitude. Somebody took their time. Somebody's out there doing these wonderful causes for people. But because you have a system in place, you're a proactive, you're an impact player, you're in charge, you're running, you're leading your family, you're doing the things that you need to do as a family leader. Okay, you're setting a great example for your children. You're moving and marching through with proactivity, consistency, all of the elements of leadership, and you've just handled that in a very graceful way. And now how do you feel when you go sit back down for dinner? And at peace. And the kids say, who was that? He said, that was the Fireman's Fund. You know, they buy tickets for the kids to go to the circus. That would be a good thing for us to consider next year, because I think that's probably a good thing. Or maybe we ought to go to the circus this year and see what it's all about. So we go and it's going to see if that might be a good thing to take kids to next year. Wow. Look at that experience. It's a different set of eyes. That's what happens when you make the shift that we're talking about, the shift of moving into thrive and sustainable prosperity. When that shift happens, all of a sudden you control your life. And you start controlling all the elements of your life.